So John Dutch to the plate. Brent Griffin due up right behind him. And a base hit for John Dutch. Poplin will hold at third. Good start here for TNR Stucco. Again past a diving Dal Baggs, and again it goes into left field. And Brent Griffin's in at second after Poplin comes to score. Dutch is at third. And what a start for TNR Stucco, still nobody out.
Runners at second and third, it's 5-0, and it's Justin Roberts, the catcher, number 33 in the box.
That brings Dustin Roberts to the plate. And Dan Smith is going to huddle up and try to talk things over. Seven in a row have reached. That's going to be the first out here in the first inning. Dustin Roberts retired on the overthrow, past home. Brent Griffin advances to third. So one away, and Troy Nance is due up.
The nice play by Baggs retires Roberts. There is one away, and now in the box will be the additional hitter, number 7. Troy Nance.
Here's Troy Nance, Oscar Shipley due up behind him. TNR Stucco trying to bat around here in the first. Nance launches this one to center field, and it's tracked down by Rick Baker. Griffin scores. But there's two away. Sacrifice for Troy Nance.
The bases are clear. The pitcher, number 18, Oscar Shipley.
So that brings Oscar Shipley to the plate. Shipley hits it to left center for a base hit, so maybe TNR Stucco back on track. They had one heck of a start. 7 in a row reached before Dustin Roberts grounded out, and then a sacrifice for Troy Nance. And they batted around as Brian Arnold is at the plate. And Arnold back of the middle, and he has a base hit. Brian Arnold aboard at first, Oscar Shipley at second, and Jason Branch who singled and scored to start this contest, comes to the plate once again. And we're going to have a pitching change, it appears. So Scott Brown will pitch, and he'll face Jason Branch for the first time tonight. Two away, 7 already in. And a base hit for Jason Branch, his second of the inning. And the bases are loaded for Mitch Mabe.
Now they're loaded up for the second baseman, Mitch Mabe.
Hey, Bernie made it back in the booth doing some house cleaning so I can be the official substitute tomorrow.
Hey, we appreciate that.
On Championship Sunday.
Jason Branch is going to pop out to end the inning, but what a start it was for TNR Stucco. Nice grab there to end the inning, but TNR Stucco scores 7, bottom of the first. Dan Smith will see how many they can get back when we come back.
They are here to play as they score 7 runs. They get those 7 runs on 10 hits. Due up for Dan Smith in the bottom of the first. It'll be Wegman, Elmer, and Baker. And as they take the field, let me give you the defensive alignment for the visitors, T&R Stucco. On the mound is Oscar Shipley. Behind the plate, Dustin Roberts. Actually, it looks like Troy Nance is going to be behind the plate here in the first. At first base, Rich Goulash. The second baseman, Mitch Mabe. The middle infielder, Randall Poplin. The shortstop, Timmy Maddox. The third baseman, Brian Arnold. In the outfield, the scheduled starters, John Dutch in left, Jason Branch in center, and Brent Griffin in right. And so as Shipley finishes his warm-up tosses, stepping in to lead things off for Dan Smith, it'll be the left fielder, number 12, Brian Wegman. Brian having a great World Series. He leads his team with 15 RBIs. That puts him second overall in the series. Wegman following up a great performance in 2009 Conference USSSA action when he was the outstanding offensive player.
Wegman leads things off, and Rick Dan Smith has a little bit of work to do.
Well, one of the key issues will be, can they answer here in the bottom of the first? And Wegman walks. I was down there between games talking to the umpires, the players, coaches. Both teams loose and relaxed, agreed to play this game early. you know, due to the fact that Long Haul chose not to play. Then I will try to confirm what time we will play championship tomorrow to let our viewers know. We may start a little early.
So after Wegman works
Brett Helmer with a base hit.
just rifles a wicked shot into right center field. That one takes a divot out of the infield on the way. Runners at the corner.
So Helmer drives it into the right field area.
It'll be the center fielder.
Line shot, hit very well.
The outstanding defensive
Rick
player
Baker,
in 2009.
standing defensive player of the year for Conference USSSA.
Rick Baker into right field. Brent Griffin tracks it down, and that'll score the first run for Dan Smith. And Helmer's lucky that he got the second.
Nice throw in. It's one of the things the outfield for T&R Stucco is known for their rifle arms.
Stepping into the box. It'll be the additional hitter, number 26. Most valuable
Jason Branch in center.
series.
Over on left, John Dutch. Brent Griffin in right.
And here's Johnny McCraw. Another good crowd on hand. And Johnny McCraw lifts this one into left field. John Dutch is under it. And that's out number 2.
Left field from McCraw. Drifting under it is John Dutch.
Would be outstanding for TNR Stucco if they can have a quick bottom of the first and maybe tack on a couple to add to their momentum.
Brown, a team high 4 runs.
And you're exactly right. This is a game of momentum. And we'll see what happens, but that would be a huge factor if you shut Dan Smith down in the first with 1 or 2 runs. And I wasn't here when they turned the lineups. I'm assuming they went the same way as they did before.
We didn't get a new lineup card for Dan Smith, so I guess that's our assumption. Scott Brown
There it is.
flies out, and Dan Smith only able to score a run. Do we have an upset brewing here at Disney? TNR Stucco up by 6 after 1 inning.
The visitors, TNR Stucco. Due up in the top of the second, it'll be Matt.
Hey, this is Brett Helmer with Easton Sports. I'm Brian Wegman with Easton Sports. Getting ready to drop some bombs with the 09 Easton bat line.
The truth is, there is a difference.
The difference is Easton. The truth is, I hit bombs.
Tim Maddox leads things off. We're in the top of the second inning. Can TNR Stucco add to what they did in the first? And this is exactly what you missed if you were downstairs. Base hitting Dan Smith to death. And of course, obviously, Tim Maddox, not a base hit, but an extra base hit. But that's what we saw a lot of in the first inning.
Well, Maddox shoots that one right between McGavin and Dow Beggs, stretches it right on into second base for a double. That's Rich Goulash. He didn't like that call.
Goulash 1 for 1. He singled and scored. Maddox, of course, now 2 for 2. And Randall Poplin right behind him. Goulash on the ground. Nice backhand there for Jeff McGavin. And he'll throw to first. That's out number 1.
Scotty Brown on the mound and Scooter Nastali's catching. They tend to flip-flop numerous times, depending on if the other team is beating up on them, either one of them.
All right, we'll see what Randall Poplin can do. He doubled and scored in his first plate appearance.
Momentum could stay on the side of TNR Stucco. They can put up a number of any type here. I mean, you need to mark every inning, win every inning. That's the key. If you win every inning, you obviously win the game.
Randall Poplin, a shot towards the gap. Rick Baker on the run tracks it down. That one just hung up in the air a little too long. And Maddox goes to third.
Well, as you notice, Bernie, we do have a slight breeze. Actually, we had a sprinkle down there right before game time. And that ball may just hang up enough, just like it did there. And Rick Baker on the run, able to track it down, as you said. So there's 2 outs, and they have a runner at third. And Stucco needs to mark right here.
John Dutch at the plate. And Dutch singled and scored back in the first. He's 1 for 1.
Second team all-conference player this year.
And he's called out on strikes.
Wow.
Dutch was on his way to first. Instead, he'll head back to the dugout. Another great inning of softball, and the crowd enjoying it. They've had a great time at Disney. It's 7-1, 2009 Men's Major World Series presented by Busch Light. And speaking of Busch Light, we're told that over 100 cakes have been sold already this weekend at Disney.
Stepping in to lead things off will be the third baseman, number 19, Ryan Justice. Ryan, a four-time All-World Team member, hailing from Morristown, Tennessee.
Seven to 1. We'll see whether Dan Smith can come back. Brian Justice into the corner, and nice play there. John Dutch takes that one away from Brian Justice. Thought he would at least get one more swing of the bat.
That ball, some 334 feet. He reaches over the bullpen wall, lays across it, and makes the catch. John Dutch, outstanding defensive play. Could be on the USSSA top 10 plays of the day.
Could be. I
What,
didn't know you were compiling a list.
We've had quite a few plays throughout this event.
Jason Kendrick at the plate. Kendrick.
No pitch.
Back of the middle, but the hand was still up.
That's correct, Bernie.
No pitch, no pitch.
Sometimes Oscar Shipley will try to get away with that. But when the hand's up, you can't throw it.
Jason Kendrick
legally
would have taken that hit, actually.
Oh, sure he would.
And Kendrick draws a walk, so he's aboard nevertheless.
Kendrick's a 1 on and 1 out, and bringing up the second baseman, number 10, Scott Kirby.
Here's Scott Kirby. Kirby back up the middle, and he has a base hit. Kendrick is at third, and there's runners on the corners.
I had a chance to check my cell phone on the way down earlier, and Myra Phelps, J.C. Phelps' wife, those of you that don't know, passed away unexpectedly last Friday. She sent a text, Bernie, she's been listening to every game. Appreciates the love and support from everyone. And our hearts go out to you, Myra, and your family. We wish you the best. Hope you tune in tomorrow for Championship Sunday. And we'll be thinking about you, and always think about JC, because he always carried the biggest smile in slow pitch softball. He could light up a stadium, light up a complex. Couldn't find anybody any nicer. Just a big old country boy with a big heart. So we're in the bottom of the second. Dan Smith has runners on the corners, and Shooter McGavin the batter.
And McGavin watches the first pitch, which is a ball.
See Troy Nance, the catcher, working the plate umpire, Tony Walzak.
Lifted into right field. Brent Griffin backpedaling, and he makes the play. Kendrick had to come back to tag the bag. Now will come across the plate to score the second run of the contest for Dan Smith.
Griffin with a long run into the corner. Kendrick was probably at least halfway down the line. He had to go back. As Bernie said, he touches and he comes across to score. Kirby's held over at first. There's two away.
Here's Dal Beggs. Dal Beggs down the line and foul.
jumped on that one. It got out of here in a hurry.
On the ground, there's a base hit for Dal Baggs. Kirby to second, and we're at the bottom of the lineup now.
That ball right between Maddox and Arnold, the shortstop and third baseman.
And now we have a pinch hitter announced, batting in place of Scott Nastalli, number 32, the left-hander Sean McDonald. McDonald is your batter.
Sean McDonald at the plate. He's going to bat in the place of Scooter Nastalli. Dan Smith would like to cut into this TNR Stucco advantage. They are up by 5. There's a called strike.
They call Sean Milky for his nickname.
And he hits one into center field, and it's going to score another run for Dan Smith. A line drive that jumped off of his bat for a base hit.
They call Milky. Sean McDonald, the RBI, single chases home. Kirby is 7-3. Bags to third. Runners are in the corners.
And a great situation here is Dan Smith's back to the top.
Fielder number 12, Brian Wing.
And Wegman. There's a called strike on Wegman.
Wags thinks that one was a bit outside. Plate umpire Tony Walzak, Chuck Duck Beckwell at second, Dwayne Posovich over at, he's at second, excuse me. The Pride of Arkansas, Jason Oberlag at third. So it's Beckwell at first, Posovich at second, Oberlag at third, and Walzak behind the plate.
It's 7-3.
Oh!
Right back up the middle. And two TNR Stucco players had a chance to take that one.
Back up the middle, Beggs to score. McDonald the third. 2 on, 2 outs.
Dal Beggs scores. McDonald's on third. And here's Brett Helmer.
That was a
This could be a tie ball game right here.
Yes, indeed, and that can happen. That was a laser shot right again between Shipley's legs. Popland had a chance, unable to make the play. McDonald all the way over to third. Wegman into second. And the score is 7-4.
And we are... No, not enough. Into the corner. Brent Griffin has it.
Man.
Side retired.
Running it down is
Brett Helmer gave it a ride.
We
go to the third. It's 7-4.
3 runs. They get the 3 runs on 4 hits, stranding 2. We've played 2, and it's the visitors. T&R Stucco with the 7-4 lead. 2 up in the top of the third. It'll be Griffin, Robertson, Nance.
Brent Griffin leads off. And Griffin popped up into left field, and Wegman has out number one.
Brent Griffin with the fly ball to left, tracked down by Brian Wegman.
Brent Griffin retired. That brings up Dustin Roberts. Griffin is 1 for 2 on the day. Roberts was the first TNR Stucco player to be retired after 7 in a row were able to reach. Roberts 0 for 1. And what a grab. Brian, the throw to first, not in time. Brilliant play there at third.
I'll tell you what, that's an outstanding play. And that was Milky McDonald. Dives to the right, horizontal to the ground, makes the stop, just unable to get the out over at first. And that was a great play. That too could be on the top 10 plays of the day, even though he didn't get him out.
You're compiling a bunch
Yes.
just in the last 2.5 innings. Here's Troy Nance.
All the excitement you could ask for.
Nance back up the middle, and that's a base hit.
Solid single up the middle for Nance. Roberts starts to third, runners at the corners with only 1 out. And in the box is the pitcher number
So
19.
2 on and 1 out, and here's Oscar Shipley.
Oscar taking over the pitching duties for TNR Stucco. Looks like Stucco may make some more noise this inning.
Well, they have a very narrow margin of a lead right here, only 3. And that one just didn't go far enough. Oscar Shipley flies out to Rick Baker, but it's a sacrifice fly that scores Dustin Roberts. And so there's 2 away, and here's Brian Arnold.
Looks like we'll try to play championship tomorrow at 10 a.m. So those of you that plan on tuning in, Rismondo passes on to the championship. They are undefeated. The winner of this game will play them and must beat them twice.
Popped up. Inning comes to its conclusion. Jason Kendrick under its side, retired. The bats of TNR Stucco have been quiet since the first. They tack on 1. They're up by 4.
Get a bunch here, get a bunch, let's go. You got him, big power.
brings off in slick fielding, left-handed hitting center fielder Rick Baker.
Rick Baker leads off the inning, and he slides safely into second.
Rick Baker, the double right field, man aboard, and that will...
Baker slams that one right past Rich Goulash. He hustles into second. He's got good wheels. So here comes Dan Smith, their leadoff batter of the innings on second. The big batting Johnny McCraw, the cleanup hitter.
And Johnny McCraw pops this one up. Branch is under it. Baker tags. He advances to third. But that's the first out here in the third. One away, and Scott Brown, he's 0 for 1. Flew out to left field, and John Dutch. If he could do that same thing here, he would make it 8-5. I'm sure you'd like to get aboard as well, though, with a base hit. Scott Brown in the left field, fair ball. Baker will score. Brown to second with a double, and it is 8-5.
Scotty Brown drives it left field. Comes in to second base. Scotty's had leg problems over the years, but he was able to make it on the slide into second. As Bernie said, 8-5 now.
So Brian Justice, who's 0 for 1 at the plate. First pitch falls right before the plate. There's a called strike.
1-1.
Inside. Justice just past the outstretched glove of Tim Maddox and Brian Arnold. And they're on the corners here.
Oh, here comes Scotty Brown.
Wow.
Maddox a little late picking up the ball there, Bernie. And Scotty Brown, he hustles in. Nice hustle.
Give Justice an RBI, and stepping into the box, it'll be the right fielder, Jason Kendrick.
Wild.
Yeah, both Arnold and Maddox dove for the ball. Took a little extra time getting up and getting the ball back. And big Scotty Brown, the Brown teddy bear, lumbers in home. 8-6, one away. And here comes Dan Smith.
They're within 2.
Jason's a firm believer. If he doesn't swing at a pitch, then it's a ball.
Fair ball into right field. Brent Griffin tracks it down.
Oh, got him.
And motoring to third. The throw is in time. Justice trying to catch the extra base. And how about the throw from Brent Griffin all the way across the diamond to Brian Arnold.
I tell you what, Bernie, that's what I said when we started. The rifle arms of the Stucco outfielders are amazing. That throw right on the money. Arnold with a nice tag. Umpire Jason Oberlag right there on top on one knee. No controversy whatsoever. A beautiful play. And there's 2 away.
Here's Scott Kirby. And Kirby draws a walk. Kendrick to second.
Scott Kirby draws the base on ball.
And here's McGavin.
Kendrick with a slow walk to second. 2 on, 2 outs.
I better get home tonight and get some rest. Had about 2 hours and 40 minutes of sleep last night. And in case you missed it, our home run derby champ was Tim Coco. And he defeated B.J. Folk in the finals. Tim Coco from Gene Shop Cheney's. B.J. Folk and Rismondo's specialty tank. Quite a battle. And on the last chance pitch, Timmy Coco hit one way over the yellow brick wall back behind here. Almost 500 feet to win that home run derby. And the victorious Tim Coco collected $1,000.
Not
Big
bad.
Cheese, oh no, and Big Cheese, Shane Spicer, the pitcher, got 500. And the second place finisher, B.J. Folk, took home 500. They didn't give me any. Not
You
a
did a
penny.
great job announcing.
Oh, I appreciate
Should
that.
have some cut, right?
Oh, I just enjoy it. I guess I'll get my pay later for being your substitute tomorrow.
That's true. I'll be on to the world of television.
Gainesville, Florida, Bernie Gunther. Wow. You go up there tonight or are you leave in the morning?
Usually it's a night ahead of time, but with Gainesville, we'll make the trek up tomorrow. Game's not until 1 o'clock on SEC Network, so plenty of time. And then next weekend, got 2 games in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Wow.
Even making a stop in Big Ten country, Don's old stomping ground in Ann Arbor in a couple of weeks, doing a game for the Big Ten Network. So always good when you get a chance to see different places around the world.
Pretty neat.
But here in Orlando, we've had some good softball tonight between TNR Stucco and Dan Smith.
Base on balls for shooter
But that's a big mistake there.
Not something you want to do. I've repeated it over and over. 9 out of 10 times a walk will cause a run to score. So here's 2 outs. Let's see if the law of averages stay the same. Troy Nance took a long look at Tony Walzak. They thought they might have had Shooter McGavin there.
Dal Banks is at the plate with 2 away. And he hits one just past the glove of Mitch Mabe into right field. Griffin tracks it down and fires it to second, but it's too late as Dan Smith has tied up the contest.
Kendrick scores. Right behind him was Scott Kirby. Shooter McGavin over at third. And now they have runners on the corners. Beggs with the single. Beggs at first. McGavin at third. And Milky, Shine, McDonald, the tall, lanky third baseman, steps in.
Sean McDonald into left field, and on the run, John Dutch. A sliding play, side retired, but not before Dan Smith scores 4. We're tied at 8. We go to the fourth here at Disney's Wide World of Sports.
Game to up for TNR Stucco will be the top of the order, Branch, May, and Maddox.
Top of the lineup for TNR Stucco, Jason Branch. This is where they went 7 for 7 and scored 7 runs back in the first. Can they do that again?
It's about the third batter we've seen tonight, Bernie, that takes off running to first, thinking that's ball 3, and it's actually a strike.
And now he's walked. So Branch reaches for the third time tonight.
Well, now we have Johnny McCraw behind the plate. Brown still in pitching.
He's aboard for the third time in the ball game and bring up Mitch Mabe.
So Mitch Mabe is at the plate. And Mabe is going to pop this one out to Wegman in left field.
High fly ball to the left from Mabe. Wegman camps under.
So Tim Maddox at the plate. He's 2 for 2. Mabe is 1 for 3.
The shortstop, Tim Maddox.
Also want to send a special hello to Faye McCarron, wife of Jim McCarron, longtime board member, director of officials. And this is the first year we don't have Jim running the press box area, as he passed away last year.
Tim Maddox is at the plate and towards center field, and that's a nice job by Rick Baker. Baker was on the run and was able to make that play for out number 2.
Kind of a half slide out there. Excuse me.
A quasi slide, if you will.
Right.
And Rich Goulash at the plate. Maddox retired for the first time tonight. Goulash is 1 for 2. He singled and scored in the first, but grounded out in the second inning. And TNR Stucco possibly about to be blanked for the second time tonight. They were blanked back in the second.
Well, Well, as you saw in the game prior to this, Dan Smith can definitely light up the scoreboard. So Stucco needs to keep the pedal to the metal and score some runs.
Goulash towards right field. Jason Kendrick on the move. And Kendrick has it. And the sides retired. Dan Smith with some terrific defense there in the fourth. They have a chance to take the lead.
Back to even, and now they'll have a chance to take the lead. Doo-wop, Wegman, Elmer, and Baker. Stepping in to lead things off for Dan Smith, will be left fielder number 12, Ryan Wegman.
Wegman at the plate. And hit to Brian Arnold, and it gets by Rich Goulash. We're a little stunned right now because we're watching the Gator game, and Tim Tebow has just been taken out. He's down and not moving.
Wow.
Urban Meyer out to talk to him. The crowd is completely shocked.
In our game, Brett Helmer's the batter.
And Helmer with a base hit to right field.
Base hit, Brett Helmer, right field to right. Runners at the corners and now into the box. And with the center fielder, Rick Baker.
Wegman at third, Helmer at first. Remarked between innings how much defense, play after play after play, these fellas are making. Oh.
Rick Baker. And Baker with a base hit, and Dan Smith in the lead.
RBI single for Rick Baker, and that'll bring up the most valuable player of last year's World Series, Johnny McGraw.
Here's Johnny McGraw.
Nobody out, runners at first and second for Dan Smith. They've just taken the lead 9-8, and here's McGraw. Coach Don Cooper holds Helmer at third.
So now they'll move it up with nobody out, an
Bases are loaded.
The Brown Teddy Bear can stretch this lead by 4 more to make it 13-8 if he hits it deep and long and into the darkness. We shall see. Oh.
Into left. That'll score another run.
Ball left from Brown. Running that one down is John Dutch. Deep enough for Elmer to tag score. So it's now 10-8. 1 out, 2 on, and it brings up Ryan Justice.
So Brown retired. And here is Brian Justice. And Justice skies this one into center field, and Branch settles under it for out number 2.
Fly ball to left center field from Justice.
There's another one of those arms. Jason Branch gets that ball in quickly.
Now the box will be the left-handed hitting right fielder, Jason Kendrick.
So with 2 away, runners at second and third. And Jason Kendrick, the batter.
Justice, it ran out of room. That ends the inning. Dan Smith is up by 2. It's 10-8.
Brent Griffin camps under it, gathers it in. We've completed 4. It's now a 10-8 lead for Dan Smith. In the 4th, they get 2 runs on 4 hits. They strand 2. So we've got 3 to play. Still anybody's ball game. 2 up for TNR Stucco, Popland, Dutch, and Griffin.
He'll be all right.
Looks like Tebow is okay.
Poplin with a line shot. McGavin snares it. There's 1 away. We were talking and watching between innings there, Bernie. Tebow.
I've been trying to talk and watch the whole time, to be honest with you.
Well, the initial hit really wasn't the one. It was a good lick. It was hard.
Yeah.
His neck was snapped as he went down. And he's up. He looks a little scared. I would be after that hit. Well, I probably would.
Well, the good news is that he's out walking around, obviously.
Exactly.
And I guess whether you're a Gator fan or not, you have to credit what Tebow's done, and you hate for somebody to have a bad injury, especially when they come back to play one more season as a senior, and that's always the risk that you run.
He's a pretty tough guy. I think he'll be just fine, or hopefully he will be.
John Dutch at the plate with one away. Brent Griffin right behind him. TNR trails by 2. And there's a base hit into left field.
Base hit to left by John Dutch. So there's one on with 1 out, an opportunity for the right fielder, Brent Griffin.
Brent Griffin defensively with that throw to third that caught Justice last inning.
Brent Griffin at the plate. TNR needs to score a couple, and you think they need to get up as well by a couple if possible.
Well, with Dan Smith having the hammer here, definitely the only shot you have realistically is you have to keep scoring and score every inning. And they haven't done that.
Griffin with a base hit.
That ball quickly got by Sean McDonald at third. I think he was surprised he didn't catch it. But it went right by him.
And now we have a pinch hitter announced, batting in place of Dustin Roberts. Number 24, Donnie Burkhalter.
Here's Burkhalter with 1 away.
He will pinch hit for Dustin Roberts. Those that were with us last night, Big Donnie was in the home run contest and made it through about 3 rounds and 24 swings. He said, I'm tired. I would have been too, but hey, he was a lot of fun. Everybody had a good time at Home Run Derby.
Burkhalter with a base hit, and that'll score a run, and TNR Stucco is within 1.
Well, Dow Beggs just got caught leaning the other way. He was moving towards second. Burkhalter put it on his backside between Beggs and McGavin. So now with runners at first and third, there's 1 away. And we're still watching much as we can on Tim Tebow.
And they keep showing the hit, and it's definitely worse in slow-mo than it is.
Unbelievable. But he's up and about.
Troy Nance into left field, and look at that catch.
Here's another great play. We probably have had 6 or 7 unbelievable defensive plays, and Wegman out in left field.
But it scores the tying run, and it's 10-10.
10-10 till we do it again.
Credit Troy Nance with an RBI sacrifice.
And Oscar Shipley at the plate.
We are not at 10.
Here in the top half of the 5th inning. Shipley on the ground, and that's how the inning comes to its conclusion. TNR Stucco able to muster 2, and they tie it up. Bottom of the 5th we go.
Shipley with the ground ball to third. They fire the second with the force out of Burkhalter, so the side retired. But TNR Stucco draws even. They get 2 runs on 3 hits. 2 up in the bottom of the 5th for Dan Smith. It'll be Kirby, McGavin, and Beggs. leading things off in the bottom of the fifth, it'll be the second baseman, Scott Kirby.
Hey, come on, Langdon!
Scott Kirby leads off, bottom of the fifth inning. Dan Smith once again trying to work their way back on top. This time they're tied, though. It's 10-10. And of course, as the home team, they have a major advantage. Kirby with a high pop fly, and this one doesn't have the distance. Making sure David DiDonatis turns your microphone back on. That's always a key.
It's okay, Dave. I'm on the phone so much he doesn't know when I want to talk and when I don't. That's my fault. But,
Ticket running the broadcast for us tonight. Matt O'Hara on the center field camera. Paul O'Leary down at third.
These guys just don't get enough credit for what they do. They hauled balls and trophies and put stuff together. I tell you what, those two
of the hardest working individuals inside the USSSA office. Jeff McGavin with a double.
They call him Shooter, and he shoots that one right out to left center field.
Shooter represents the go-ahead run in second. And now in the box trying to bring it home will be the middle infielder, Dal Beggs.
Here's Dal Beggs.
TNR Stucco team is not going away, Bernie. They're pesky. They're staying there with them.
Popped up. This should be out number 2. Jason Branch on the run.
And old Jackie Hayes, the coach of one of the coaches, as I said earlier today, from a small town in Virginia, says he's got almost 100 people he believes watching. When they get home, his daughter and his twin grandkids. And Papa, Grandpa, Jackie says, hey, be home soon. I've known Jackie for many years, Bernie, and I tell you, he's pacing in that dugout right now. He probably has a towel over his shoulder and pacing back and forth as it's 10-10 with 2 away.
Sean McDonald into right field. Brent Griffin on the run, and he can't track it down. It's off the wall. McDonald to third, and Dan Smith again is on top by a run. Thought that Griffin might have a chance to track that down.
He was on the move right as soon as it came off the bat. It just kept flying over and over and drifting towards the 385-foot sign. It bounced up against it and back off. And in the meantime, 1 run comes in, and Sean McDonald easily into third.
And I think it's starting to rain because the fans are moving up as Brian Wegman comes to the plate.
Doesn't look like the big drops, just a steady, rain at the moment. I'm going to check the weather.
Come on, right here, Wade!
Brian Wegman has Dan Smith up by 2 with this double.
RBI.
And the rain really starting to come down now.
Bronson has scored at like a 12-10. And aboard 2 outs. An opportunity for Brett Elmer.
Well, all day long they said we had a 20% chance of rain, and I'm looking at the radar. There's a line of yellow and green.
Wow, a big line coming our way.
Let's see if I can find out which way it's moving.
Helmer trying to add to this 2-run advantage for Dan Smith. Helmer with a base hit.
RBI, single right for Brett Helmer. He gets that one in the right field. Wegman darting around to score. It's 13-10. And on with 2 outs, and now a chance for the left-handed hitting center fielder, Rick Baker.
Baker up the middle.
Rick Baker with a base hit.
Base hit, Rick Baker bounces that one up the middle, and now Johnny McCraw will step into the box with a 2 on and 2 out.
You looking for me?
It's a miniature monsoon out there.
Hey, the rain. We'll play as long as we can through this rain. We're in the bottom of the 5th. And McCraw takes the walk to load the bases. Helmer to third, Baker to second. McCraw goes down to first. And Scotty Brown once again comes up with the bases loaded.
Brown with a pop-up. That's a challenge in the rain to track that one down. Side retired, Dan Smith back on top.
They get 3 runs on 6 hits.
See if you
go to the top of the 6th and 2 up. It'll be Arnold, Branch, and May.
A base hit to start things off. We're a little bit on the protective mode, trying to get our equipment taken care of right now, and we'll get you the shot right back.
Well, they're going to try to do everything they can, Bernie, to complete this game. They've taken the bats and put them down in the dugouts. Our tournament director and assistant tournament director,
Brian Arnold,
Warren Bellum, and Larry Lofton will oversee those bats while they're there.
They're kind of bat guards.
Yeah, bat police.
In the box, it'll be the center fielder, number 12, Jason Branch.
So in the meantime, one runner on for Stucco.
Jason Branch. Trying to get TNR Stucco back in this contest.
Well, the score being 13-10, and we're in the top of the sixth. This game's still pretty close. Anybody's game.
And we've lost, our natural sound mic, so may not be as exciting for you guys, but the microphone just can't get soaked out there in the rain. Runners on the corners. And Mitch Mabe will come to the plate.
Base hit to center field, runners at the corners, and now into the box. It'll be the second baseman, number 16, Mitch Mabe.
The rain coming down like crazy.
Fly ball to left field from Mabe. Brian Wegman running in gingerly, gathers it
Mabe
in.
with a sacrifice fly that scores a run. It's 13-11.
Wegman taking it easy as he comes in, trying not to slip or slide. Long run.
Stepping
got the out.
The box, it'll be the shortstop, Timmy Maddox.
So there's one away.
Big matchup between TNR Stucco and Dan Smith. The winner takes on Rismondo. All this opened up because Long Haul had elected not to play tonight. Nothing out of USSSA's measure, out of their own. So we'll see, as the winner here is going to be certainly second.
Oh.
And
That
Tim
ball
Maddox
is
with
fair.
a home
That
run, and
ball
we're
is
tied
gone,
at 13.
And this ball game is
So there's
tied.
really a ton riding
Timmy
on this
Maddox,
game.
a line
You're sure at
drive just
least second
inside the
place
left
if you
field
could win it.
foul pole, and it's 13 all.
Maddox's line
Jason
drive
Branch
curled
scores
right
in front
around,
of
and the
him. Bases
rain
cleared, one
continues to
out,
come
and
down
into the
harder.
box. It'll be the first baseman, Rich Goulash.
And the rain coming down even harder now. Goulash clubs this one, and that's gone.
Back-to-back jacks through the raindrops.
And TNR Stucco stroking them in the rain. That's a back-to-back jack. Goulash and Maddox, and it's 14-13. Stucco with the lead.
Let's see what the rain is doing on the weather report.
It's coming down.
Well,
I can tell you.
Yep, that one's pretty obvious.
Randall Poplin deep. Is it deep enough?
Oh.
That one's gone. 3 home runs in a row.
Holy cow. TNR Stucco, 3 in a row. The wind gusting out to left, and TNR Stucco taking advantage.
That was a good point. The wind has
3
completely
straight
changed
blowing
courses
out
right
of
now,
here. It's
and it is
15-13.
blowing right in
out. Bases
to that
cleared
corner
for
in
John
left
Dutch.
field.
You can see the flag blowing right to left, straight out.
John Dutch down the line and foul. It would be nice if it just rained and came through and stopped. It's been a 5-run 6th inning. And the wind gusting out to left field right now. John Dutch to the warning track.
Drive to left center field from Dutch, but running it down Brian Wegman. So now 2 outs, and into the box it'll be the right fielder, Brent Griffin.
As the field begins to puddle up around first and third, the safety of the players may come into question. It looks like this line of thunderstorms or rain is moving. But it's just not moving quick enough.
Brent Griffin popped up towards left field. Inning comes to its conclusion. But 5 runs for TNR Stucco there on the top of the 6th. The rain, it's pouring down here in Disney. It's 15-13 Stucco in the lead.
The big blows, home runs in succession from Maddox, Goulash, and Poplin. So now we'll go to the bottom of the 6th and due up for Dan Smith, Justice, Kendrick, and Kirby. So we are going to have a brief rain delay. Looking at the radar, it looks like this is one thin band of storms that will go through. So once the band is gone through, things should clear up.
It's
obviously conditions
going to be a rain delay
in the pitcher's mound and home plate area have become difficult. We'll get some.
We will get you up to date as quickly as we can, but the rain is coming down like crazy.
Between these two great ball clubs, we don't want anything to determine it other than the great play on the field. So looking out for the players' safety, we're going to pause briefly. We'll be back to action as soon as possible.